Hello Internet, it's Egg, it's Opus Magnum, we're back. We're continuing directly after the last recording. Voltaic coil. Sounds like we're making some kind of electrical trap. It's an alarmingly powerful art. Would you consider yourself licensed at the moment? Okay, it's an infinitely long line of lead, fire and salt. Okay, so what is the obvious repeating unit? Okay, so it's 4 leads and then the alternating salt and fire. We have 1 lead, we have 2 fires, standard procedure. Okay. What would be an easy way to do this? Maybe do 2 halves? No, what you'll probably want to do is make a lead chain with 1 arm that just continuously shoves it forwards, and then add the fire and salt on its way past. That probably makes the most sense. It's going to be something along these lines. Probably. If maybe another one rotates first. Yeah, I'm going to need to go further than that though, aren't I? Which means I kind of just need to pass it off to another arm immediately. So I'm probably better off just getting rid of this. Use these 2 arms to put the lead in place. And then use a 3rd arm that's going to be on a track to shove it along. Of course, that's kind of probably interfering with where I'm going to put the fire in, but I'm sure it'll be alright. I'll just have to work around it as best I can. Okay, so 1 is grab, rotate, reset. 2 is grab, rotate the other way and reset. Okay. Then when 1 resets, 3 can grab. Can move once 2 resets. It's going to go on double plus. And then obviously we'll have another arm that does the same thing and brings in the next 2 leads. And this whole track is going to need to be a loop, some kind of loop. Don't know how long a loop yet. let's not do that yet. Let's wait until these actually... Okay, so it needs to be grabbing at 2 commands into that loop. Should make it there. Whoops, nope, only need 1 plus. Or I don't know, space them out so there's 2, just for symmetry's sake. Okay, so where are we going? We get to there. We move 4 plus 1. Release 3. Actually, we can release 3 immediately as soon as it gets there. Release 3. Then we've got 2 pluses for everyone. That's too early. Okay. So can we just make that the whole loop? Does that make sense as the whole loop? I mean, probably. So if I set this to be like that, I'll need 1 more arm to make it loop properly. With 1 step further offset instructions. This is of course assuming that we can get the fire and salt in place quick enough to keep up with this. Let's just check that that loops sufficiently. Actually, let's check it loops entirely. Okay, yep. That's fine. Right, now we just need to try and get this other stuff to the right place at the right time. So, bottom one is salt first. Wait, no, fire first, then salt. Salt first, then fire? Does it matter? No, salt first, then fire, I think. It needs to go to here without interfering with any of this. I think it would work to put this here and go rotate to salt, then back, and then fire can just come up. That should probably work. So let's try and get the timing on this right. So it's grab, rotate, rotate, unrotate. Oh wait, I've just realised I'm making a free loop here, but with alternating it's going to need to be a for loop, so this is just going to need to be longer. Keep your loops even lengths, and then that will make your life much easier. Wait, what? What just happened? What did I do wrong? Oh, wait. It's the wrong way round. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and obviously one more loop of these. Okay, now we just need to fit in everything else into that loop, and we'll be good. So it should probably be grab, rotate, reset. This doesn't look like it's going to work because there's not enough time. Or is there? No, not repeat. Oh no, wait, that's why it's not going to work, because I've done that wrong. Get rid of all that. I'm probably going to need 2 arms. How are we going to do this? And they've got to rotate. Which way do they have to rotate? They have to rotate inwards. We might be able to do it with an arm on a track and move like this instead. Let's see if the timing will work on that. Okay, so it's grab, it's salt first, so rotate, rotate, reset. Then it's grab plus rotate, reset. Wait, when was that? Grab about here plus rotate. Grab plus rotate, reset. Oh, 1 step sooner than that? Okay. That's not going to be in time though, is it? Because these commands are too long. Could I do the calcifications somewhere else? Not really. Not if I want to keep this in a straight line. Could I save time on the reset phase? It doesn't really matter, because in order to get that into the right place at the right time, I only have a limited window. I might just have to extend the loop of the moving parts by an extra gap. So let's see if we put it as soon as possible. This would be grab. Rotate once, rotate twice. Well, let's just lay it out and see how badly this is off. It might not be completely terrible. What is this? This is 6 instructions. That's 6. That's 6. So it's cycling in 6, whereas these are set to cycle in 4. And these are set to cycle in 4. So if I just add an extra delay between them, that'll even it out. I don't think there's going to be any better way to do that particularly. Yeah, let's just try that. Okay, so space these out to 6, which means add 2 gaps in between them. Then adjust these so that they line up, which would be grab plus drop. Let's align the pluses and then we'll worry about the grabs. So the pluses go here. The grabs happen under that. Yep, okay, that looks fine. And then we just need to arrange these so they make more sense in their 6 loop. The timing of that is going to be slightly more awkward. It's like there, maybe? That looks about right. Yeah. Okay, so that's the timing problem fixed. Now we just need to just quickly do this top segment, which is going to be the same as the bottom one, essentially. Shouldn't be a problem. Let me just check. Oh, I don't need to do that. Just well, I do need to do that now because I've reset it. So you just need to put fire then salt alternating up top. Something like this should do, and the same with the little track. It should just basically be these commands but inverted. So instead you've got grab plus rotate, reset, grab, rotate, rotate, reset, and then that again. Not quite, because it's one step later. Could I just use the glyph of triple bonding there? Probably. But then that'll make an extra bond between the lead atoms, won't it? I could run it over an unbonder. That'd be a big fat waste of time. I think I just need to set this so it's a couple of cycles later, maybe? Nope, later than that. Do I need to go all the way back that far? Right, yeah. That's no good. Wait, could I do it here instead? Could I do it there instead? Maybe. I feel like that might work. Except it actually needs to be earlier in that case. Nice. Now, presumably, if I've done all my timing right, that will just loop. Sweet, and then we just shove this up here, and we should be good. Well, right on the low end of cycles. I mean, that did seem like a fairly fast solution. I'm not all certain that would go well. Ah yes, alchemists, a lot like wizards. Unstable compound. It's a very generic name for an explosive. Are you still driven by this idea of revenge, the mystery motivation that we just gained at some point? What reason would I have to exist? I must do alchemy. I agree. I must. Whew, okay. It's some triple X bonding, fire with salt around it, and we've got 2 fires, and presumably, yep, the triple X bonder. Now, presumably, the triple X bonder only works on fire because it has the fire symbol. So that means we could still pivot this central bit even if these are salts, because that will still work. Of course, we wouldn't be able to pivot it over a full triplex bonder. Not without moving it away from where we're building it. Of course, we could rotate it over 3 of the triplex bonders aligned correctly. Well, the question there is, does the grey bond of the triplex bonder count as a regular bond? Probably doesn't even work, does it? Looks like I'm going to have to do a small experiment to actually see how this may or may not function. Grab, grab, extend, 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 extend. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't work on non-fire atoms. So then the question is, if I run them over a regular bonder first, does that count as the grey bond of the triplex? No. Okay. That's going to make this somewhat more difficult. Yeah, it's not going to be fast, but I'm thinking maybe a 2-step solution. Make the 4 fire atoms and rotate them through to make the triplex bonds. And then hand them off to another arm that just pivots in place as salt is inserted to the various places it needs to go. It's definitely going to be real slow. So let's start from here. We'll rotate up to here. We'll pivot and do the first triplex bond there. No, more like that, right? With another arm. Okay, and then once you've done that, you just do a double rotate to hit the other bonds, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, grab, rotate, and then you're waiting, and then 2 is grabbing, rotating, resetting, then 1 is pivoting twice. Maybe go the other way. We can hit the yellow bond at least on each of them. So 1 pivot, then rotate away. And then that will go to a red bond. And then pivot like 3-4 times. No, we might not even need to do that last extra pivot, because there's still a yellow bond available up here. Yeah, something like that probably. Like I said, real slow. And then, you know, rotate away again. Or maybe not rotate away and maybe just drop and hand it off to another arm. Could we maybe sneak in the salt bonder on the end of the thing up here? We might be able to. Do all three of the atoms go past there? Or well, here maybe. It could work. It could work. And then I might not have to hand it off. I could just rotate one more and start building the other salt atoms. It's gonna be awkward. I have no idea where I'm going to put this input. So there'll already be a salt there for that. And then you have 2 instructions to get the next salt in there, which is basically probably a rotate and a drop. So we'll need the arm here to already have the next salt available. So I mean, is it going to have to be like one of these probably? This and like that. Not sure that's going to work. No, that's not going to work because there's, with the grab and drop, there's too many cycles in between. No, what you'll have to do is have a track and just get those atoms up there as soon as possible from this. into 3 arms that are moving along a track. Probably something like this. So what cycle do I need the first one to actually be in there? That rotate cycle. So it's plus. No, it's plus and then drop. So it should be grab and grab and grab. These go here. Drop. Drop. Okay, yeah, that works. And then I guess we'll just reset those. Wait, how far away were they from where they need to be? 2 more pluses. Now we have to get from here to here via some kind of rotations, or here. It's not particularly pleasant, because we could move this around, but that's in itself going to be awkward. Well, not that awkward. Would I be better off having those go diagonally upwards? It should still work. Apart from that last rotation. No, I think it's going to have to be there. So we're probably thinking about putting the binder here. And then doing some kind of long arm rotate shift. Assuming that that's not going to get in the way. Which I think it's probably not going to. In fact, if I shift it one sideways onto that first... no. Rotate onto a glyph, shift in. Because I don't think having a glyph there will interfere with the other stuff, will it? No. Okay, so it should be grab, rotate, and then I need a track of some kind, diagonally downwards. Nope, too early. And then just do it 2 more times. So do I want that to be a long, 6 arm? It would save me time. Yeah, I guess so. So grab plus reset. No, wait, not reset. Drop minus. Okay, and then when that drop happens, we can pivot again. repeat those instructions 2 more times. With the pivots in the same place. Except not that last one. Oh, wait, no, 2 rotations, not 1. And then rotate once more to the exit. At that point. Right there. Yeah, and release. So now do we want to make that a triple arm again? Would that work as a triple arm? It would, right? Yeah. Fine, let's do it. Nope. Nope. Okay. Definitely not a particularly fast or small solution, or cheap, you know, it's just generally bad. Well, okay, it was actually pretty fast, but it was definitely not cheap or small. I mean, I probably didn't need to use 3 length arms for everything. Well, maybe I did actually, but... There, does this look suspicious to you? Now that you've asked, I can't help but see it in the light of suspicion. Ah, confirmation bias. Ah, of course she has. Okay, how much longer can I record for? 1/4 of an hour. Well, let's have a look at this level, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Are you at all nervous about going through with the plan? The plan. It's as sound as anything I've designed. Glyph disposal. Just destroy stuff. Where disposed atoms go is poorly understood. It's probably not a good thing. Oh man. Yeah, well, evidently not going to finish this in 1/4 of an hour, I wouldn't have said. Starting from 2 salts. Oh, and it's Van Berlo's wheels. It's also going to make this real fun. So basically we need the glyph disposal in order to get rid of the vitae that's going to be coming out of this as we make all the moors. Oh man, the glyph disposal is massive! So where do we even start with this? So I guess we reserve one of these inputs for making this on 1/2 of the board with that. That'll make the death loop, and then the other one makes all the rest of it. It's the same number of atoms, so theoretically it should sync up fairly well. So for this half, we'll probably make 2 free long bends and then bind them together, and then use the wheel to convert them to whatever we need, hopefully. But that makes sense. Because if you had, say, like the free line of salts, you could just rotate. No, you couldn't just rotate, could you? Oh no, you could, because it only uses this. There's only one spot, so you could theoretically just rotate through to make to the Earth, and then rotate. No, wait, what am I talking about? It would be like this, wouldn't it? If you have 3 of those glyphs, it's going to mess it up. It might be better off doing something like this. Rotate 3 of them past it, adjust as necessary, bond on the way past, and then put them somewhere. That does seem like it may work. So let's give it a shot and see how it goes. Again, it's going to be incredibly slow because this is the old pick up and drop, pick up and drop, pick up and drop situation. Ding, ding, ding. And then what? Rotate one more? Or drop and pick up and then rotate again? Re-rotate this the other way? Or rather 2 the other way. Nope, that's too early. Drop. Okay, so then we're going to need a slight pause because we're going to need to pass this off to another arm. Where does it end up? So what would be the best place to grab that by? Probably this top end. I'm kind of doing this the long way round, aren't I? Should probably be doing the salt fire salt first instead of all the earths. Okay, let's do that then. So timing wise, what is that? Salt. Then rotate inwards. Rotate outwards, is that the right timing? Actually, could I just rotate all the way past to the other salt? I could. That would actually be better. Pass it off, move it out. Okay, and then probably slide this up one and have a bonder like here. No, wait. Where am I trying to put this? If that's the earths, then the salt needs to be here. So it needs to be salt, fire, salt. Is that even possible to do like this? Or should I maybe be using two arms? Let's actually try that. Let's change 3 to a longer one and then see where that puts it. After 2 rotations, probably. And a pivot. Or maybe just 2 rotations, we'll see. No, that'll probably work. So this meanwhile needs to be... When does it need to go? After that first rotation is when it can start grabbing again. Grab, rotate, drop, grab, rotate. Drop. Grab, rotate, something. Well, to make this loop easier, I should probably just double rotate at that point, I think. Nope, that's before that. And then reset the wheel somewhere here-ish. Is that the right timing? Could I go sooner on that? 2. Nah, that's fine. Okay, so then drop. That's when 4 grabs and rotates, and then something happens. Okay, so what would be the ideal place to do this? It's not particularly helpful. Could maybe make it a piston arm pivot push. Grab, pivot, extend, extend. That's not actually quite far enough, is it? Let's make free a piston arm and retract. Or make free a short arm on a track again. It's probably going to need to go 2 positive, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like we're relatively close to finishing this. Might make this episode a bit long though. Which half do you think is going to be faster? This half or the circular half? Well, the circular half is going to be quite awkward to make. Which makes me think this half might be way quicker. Yeah, okay. I'll split this into another episode. So that's going to be the end for this episode. In the next episode we'll finish up this mess of a solution, which is also going to be gigantic again, to make this suspicious lipstick, which looks like the old Kiss of Death action. We're turning into assassins. But for now, put the social text onto the screen. happysalad.net is our website where we have a podcast, and the Twitter is @saladcast, and the Facebook is facebook.com/happysaladnet, where you can find out when our podcast is posted. And YouTube is where these videos continue to exist. And that's it for this episode. Second half of this puzzle, and probably at least one more puzzle in the next one. Goodbye.